This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Most automakers selling light and medium-duty vehicles in the U.S. finally reported their sales for 2023, and here's what the numbers look like. They sold a total of 15.3 million vehicles, up 16% compared to 2022, and the year ended on a high note, with December sales hitting a SAAR, or seasonally adjusted annual rate, of 16.4 million, which was at least 1 million units higher than analysts were forecasting. And here's the sales rankings by automaker. General Motors topped the list, with Toyota surpassing Ford for second place. Amazingly, the Hyundai Group, including Kia and Genesis, is the fourth largest automaker in the American market, beating out Stellantis and Honda. Nissan came in seventh place, with Tesla outselling Subaru and the Volkswagen Group. Strangely, Mercedes still hasn't reported its 2023 sales, but it probably wouldn't change any of these rankings. Meanwhile, in Europe, sales of pure electric vehicles rose 21% last year as Europeans bought 323,000 more BEVs than they did in 2022. Total BEV sales went over 1.8 million units, and surprise, surprise, the Volkswagen Group handily outsold Tesla. The group, including VW, Audi, Skoda, Seat, and Cupra, but not Porsche, sold over 358,000 BEVs in Europe last year, compared to 325,000 for Tesla. While Tesla does not break out sales on a regional basis, the website EU EVs collects owner registrations, which serves as a proxy for sales. Stellantis, which includes Peugeot, Opel, Citroën, Vauxhall, and DS, came in third place with 163,000 BEVs. The Hyundai Group captured fourth place with 148,000, and Renault, including Dacia, came in fifth place with 136,000 units. It's sometimes interesting to see how EV sales compare on a corporate basis and not just by brand or model. BYD may have passed Tesla in sales of pure electric vehicles in China in the fourth quarter of last year, but Tesla is still ahead when it comes to sales efficiency. According to data from China Merchants Bank International, during the first 10 months of 2023, Tesla sold more than 1,500 vehicles on average at its stores in China, up from 1,300 in 2022. BYD, on the other hand, only sold 600 cars per store, including plug-in hybrids, which was about the same as it did in 2022. Tesla's real-time management of its sales staff is credited with giving it this advantage. It monitors its 2,800 sales staff on an hourly basis to find out how good they are at bringing new customers into showrooms, arranging test drives, and placing orders. The best staff can earn more than $4,200 a month plus bonuses, which is much higher than its rivals. Even so, BYD's market share is growing faster than Tesla in China. Tesla held a 12% share in the first 10 months of 2023, up from 10% in 2022. But BYD's share grew from 21% in 2022 to 27%. Like the US, the UK also posted its best year of new car sales since the pandemic. According to the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, or SMMT, automakers sold more than 1.9 million vehicles, up nearly 18% from 2022. That includes nearly 315,000 BEVs, which is more than the previous 2 years combined. But while sales were up strong last year, they're still nearly 18% below pre-pandemic levels, and the SMMT expects the first few months of this year to be rocky for sales due to, quote, regulatory uncertainties regarding EU-UK rules of origin.
At CES January 9th through 12th, 2024, Intrepid's looking forward to seeing you at our booth 3666 Las Vegas Convention Center in the West Hall. We'll be demonstrating the latest and greatest in software-defined vehicles and zonal architectures. automotive Ethernet technologies like 10-base T1S and multi-gigabit. See you at CES 2024 Las Vegas Convention Center in West Hall booth 3666 or visit intrepidcs.com/sales.
Tesla is making headlines because it has to recall nearly every vehicle it's ever sold in China. But we wonder if it should really be called a recall when all the issues can be fixed with an over-the-air update. China's State Administration for Market Regulation ruled that drivers can easily misuse the autopilot system, which increases the safety risk. The official wording of it all sounds very similar to what NHTSA said when it issued a recall on autopilot in North America. Last month, Tesla voluntarily sent out an OTA that made autopilot alerts more noticeable, simplified how the system is turned on and off, and implemented a 5-strike penalty for those that ignore warnings. It's unclear if China will accept the same fixes. And right now, I've got many alarm bells going off in my head. The Chinese government has already expressed concerns about all the data captured by Tesla's autopilot system. Tesla set up a domestic storage center to make sure that data stays in the country as a way to help smooth things over. But I still have some worry this could turn into something bigger. A group of 33 senators, all Democrats, sent a letter to non-union car companies in the U.S., including Tesla and Rivian, urging them to stay neutral with the UAW. The letter comes after the UAW accused several companies of union-busting activities, which the automakers deny. The letter says in part, quote, "A neutrality agreement is the bare minimum standard manufacturers should meet in respecting workers' rights, especially as companies receive and benefit from federal funds related to the electric vehicle transition." It also seems to imply that the Senate could cut IRA funding if a company does not allow collective bargaining for its workers. We mostly agree that automakers should respect workers' rights and stay neutral in union organization. But maybe someone should tell these politicians that they ought to be neutral and stay out of this too. Sales of new energy vehicles, or NEVs, rose 38% in China last year to nearly 9 million units. But car makers that struggled with NEV sales and exports, which was the other big growth sector in China, were well off their targets for the year. According to partial data released by the China Passenger Car Association, 2/3 of Chinese automakers completely missed their sales goals for 2023. What's more, only 82 NEV makers were able to sell at least one car, which is down from 92. And it's not going to get any easier as the competition heats up in the country. Many traditional automakers like Toyota have said they don't plan on introducing EVs in developing markets because those countries don't have the infrastructure to support them. But BYD is proving them wrong, at least in Brazil. The Chinese automaker was the top EV brand in 2023 with nearly 18,000 vehicles sold, which includes its plug-in hybrids. The Dolphin EV helped fuel that growth. It launched in Brazil in the middle of 2023 and sold nearly 7,000 units in 6 months. Overall, more than 52,000 BEVs and PHEVs were sold in Brazil last year. NACTOY, which is an organization of 50 automotive journalists from across the United States and Canada, announced the winners for the best car, truck, and utility of the year. The Toyota Prius, including the Prius Prime, was voted Car of the Year, beating out the Honda Accord and Hyundai Ioniq 6. The Ford Super Duty pickup line was voted Truck of the Year, beating out the Chevrolet Colorado and Silverado EV. And the Kia EV9 was voted Utility of the Year, beating out the Genesis electrified GV70 and the Hyundai Kona EV. Here's how Jeff Gilbert, the president of NACTOY, summed up this year's voting.
So Jeff Gilbert, president of NACTOY, what do you think of the turnout, the vote, how everything came out today?
I think this was a great cross-section of the North American vehicle market. Think about this, John. You have a work truck, you have an electric vehicle, you have a hybrid. Talk about covering the gamut of what's selling in the market here. I couldn't have planned it better.
Any surprises to you?
Yeah, the one surprise I had was the Prius winning. I really was thinking the Accord was a nice mid-sized car, and you know, the Ioniq 6 was kind of a dark horse there because it's a nice electric vehicle, and we've been giving this award a lot for electric vehicles. But you know what? The Prius is also a justification for Toyota. They've done great in recent years. They've been finalists a lot of time. I believe the only other Toyota to win this award in the past was the Prius before, so it's nice to see a lot of the quality and the value of Toyota pay off.
Real good. I totally agree with you on the Prius being a surprise, but kudos to them for winning it.
Absolutely. And you know what it does also? Think about it. The last 6 months or so, there's just been this rumbling about hybrids. There's a lot of life left in them. For the last 4 or 5 years, Toyota's been saying that. So this kind of underscores something they've been saying for a while.
And that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you have a great weekend.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
At Teijin Automotive Technologies, we combine world-class composite materials expertise with cutting-edge designs because, frankly, there are better ways to lightweight vehicles. So lighten up with Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.